we want to talk about smoked vanilla beans,
Smoked
vanilla bean sugar, and smoked vanilla bean extract, because when we were in Starlette's room, she took us to like her favorite corner, and it was all smoked. And so, Starlette, if you could, we don't have any content yet about smoked.
We
We
don't.
talk about it a lot in our group. So I'm going to kind of, at the very beginning with smoked, let's talk about smoked vanilla beans, how it works. So I get my vanilla beans, I open up the pouch.
Mm-hmm.
Are these brand new vanilla beans?
They're brand new vanilla beans.
They're brand new.
They're brand new. When I make my sugars, I make them with fresh beans.
It's always fresh
It's
beans.
always fresh. Now I'll grind them. I don't ever take my beans out of my bottles.
Once they're in there,
Once they're in there, they're in there.
Yeah.
I don't do anything with it. The vanilla's mine, so when it gets down a little bit, I'll pop it up and put it on a little second extract sticker on it. But I never take my beans out of my bottle. That being said, all my beans are fresh that go in, like the sugars and stuff.
Perfect.
So, and I think they're a little bit more flavorful.
I think so too. So for someone that wants to smoke their beans, which sounds funny when I say that, we should
I have a
clarify.
little smoker.
For someone who wants to put
I
their
know,
beans
and
on a
everybody
smoker,
wants to put their
we
beans.
do not recommend smoking your beans. But if you want to put them on a smoker, so I receive the beans, I take them out of the pouch, and I just lay them on the grill.
You can
How
put
do
them
you
in
do
the
it?
grill. Now, I've done them on the grill.
Okay.
The grill's big, you don't
And
always
this is like
want
a
to open
Traeger
it.
kind of like a
Yep,
smoker.
it's a regular grill.
Hickory wood.
What I found,
Oh, I can smell those.
Oh my gosh. So we didn't know those were in there. This is brand new. This is
my smoker.
Oh my.
This is my stovetop smoker.
A stovetop
And I
smoker.
put them on here, and
Okay.
then I put them. You can take
I'm
them
going to
there
show
and
this. We have to do a close up.
Wow.
I said this. I wish there was like a smell
I
thing
know.
through the phone.
I know it.
So this is your smoker,
That's my smoker.
and so it just slides open like that. And
then-
inside are all the beans. They're kind of at the bottom because I've tipped it. You can kind of see them. They were laid out nicely when she showed them to us. So this just sits on your
It
stovetop.
sits on my stovetop, and I put a piece of granite on top to keep it smoking a little bit.
Oh
And
my
then I smoke
gosh.
it on low, and I use wood. I think this time I had some plum from the plum tree out there that I threw in.
So
Use
really
wood.
quick, you said that quickly. I'm going to slow you down because I think it's important. So you're doing it indoors.
Indoors.
You have a lid on it. You
Mhm.
put it on the stovetop.
Put it on
It
the stove.
smokes. You put granite
I have a
top of
slab
the
of
lid
granite
to
that I
keep
put
the
on.
smoke inside.
Mhm.
That way your kitchen's not filled
Yeah.
with smoke.
Yep. So
Okay.
I put the granite on top, and
Okay.
it just holds it tight.
And it just
down
holds
on
it tight.
It's not an expensive one because you don't
No.
need to buy expensive.
No, you
You
don't
know,
need it.
you make it
You
work.
don't need it.
Exactly, you make
Right.
it work. And I do them a lot, so I don't want to be lighting up a big grill.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just, I use wood from the trees, our fruit trees,
No
and then
kidding.
we chip the wood.
And what kind of fruit trees?
This
for
one here
example?
had plum and cherry.
Plum and cherry wood.
out there, and a little bit of
Smoking
oak.
underneath
Yeah.
and a little oak.
And then you just lay them on there, and I smoke them about, I don't know, 30, 35 minutes.
35
And
minutes.
then I let it sit in the pan until it cools.
Okay.
So that way the smoke can cool down with it.
Oh my
Because some of the
gosh.
oils, you can see how they pop
Yeah.
up, and they're brittle, and they're beautiful,
Oh my
and they
gosh.
smell awesome.
Wow.
Smell that one.
I mean,
What
What
these-
kinds of beans are these?
Hungry.
these were Indian, these are the rest of the Indian.
These are the rest of the Malabars.
Yeah, yep, oops, sorry.
These are the Malabar. Wow.
I think the Malabars have a deep flavor, and
They do.
they're more of a savory bean, and of course I've smoked them all. I think this one is the best as far as smoking goes.
Uh-huh.
And that even, you can smell it in the sugar.
What do you use your sugar with?
I use the sugar and barbecue sauce. I use it in coffee cakes. I make
Coffee
coffee cakes. I
cakes?
sell at
Really?
yes, I sell them at the farmer's market. I haven't done it this year, but I do coffee cakes. I do 16 different flavors of coffee cakes. And
Oh my
once a
gosh.
month I send them over to the fire hall because they do such a great job, so I send them over for their meeting.
Oh my
But I
goodness.
use the sugar in the topping, and it gives it a whole different flavor, depending on which apple. Like the last one was an apple, so it was like a smoked flavor on the apple with it. So I use it.
This is an
Sauce.
entirely new, like, vanilla bean application.
Doesn't it smell-
It totally transforms it.
It's just yeah.
It's still sweet.
It's
Sweet.
got my mouth.
Yeah, it makes your mouth water, but it's like sweet and savory
Yeah, it
now
does,
all
yeah.
in one.
Yep, and it's for barbecue sauce. It's wonderful,
Oh,
and that's the
wow.
reason, since we're big smokers, that I wanted to try to play around with the smoking beans. Now, when I
Right.
put them out on the smoker, it smokes too hot.
Uh-huh.
So this was perfect because you don't want to squeeze all the
Right.
oils out of them. You just wanted to smoke them on a low temperature,
Uh-huh.
just enough for the wood to smoke.
Okay.
You know,
For
so-
about 30 minutes. And
Mhm,
so then
about
to put
30
them in the
minutes.
sugar, you
And then I just
grind them
I ground the last ones. I ground.
in like a food processor,
And
like
I
a
have
coffee bean grinder, or what do you use? Oh,
Well,
all the way
I
around
have.
there.
It
Did I help
depends
you?
on what day.
It-
I have a commercial grinder that I use
Okay.
for when I do my powdered sugars,
Uh-huh.
because then I can whiz it up and I don't have to worry. This is the best. I love these.
Yeah.
It has a cup that removes. It has 2 cups, so you can see I do a lot of
Oh,
vanilla
there you
beans.
go. Yeah,
But
vanilla
I
beans.
grind it up in these and then I
Okay.
stick them in the beans.
No
But
kidding.
and since I use this mostly in the baking,
Uh-huh.
then it doesn't matter having a little bit of beans in it, because it just gives it a good flavor when you bite into something. You get the little.
Can I smell the vanilla sugar?
Oh, you'll love it.
Oh.
Imagine that in your barbecue sauce.
Oh my gosh. So again, if you barbecue sauces, protein glazes,
Oh yeah, anything that you want, and even your sweet cookies.
cookies.
It's just give it a pop of
Yeah,
something, you know,
yeah.
in it. So yeah.
Because that smoky flavor, it's kind of it's reminiscent of dark chocolate
Mhm.
or
Oh
mocha.
yeah.
So
Oh,
it's not like smoky like these taste burnt. It's just the opposite.
It's just the
It's
smoke.
smoky that
Yeah.
it tastes like
And
a
the
dark
vanilla.
chocolate or
With
rich.
chocolate, that would
Yeah.
be
Wouldn't that be
lovely.
wonderful? So yeah, so that's just, I know a lot of people ask when I say, yeah, I was smoking beans, because I did a couple posts on them, and they're like, you're smoking beans. I know you do a lot, but you're over there smoking your beans. Yes, I do.
Smoking beans. I love it. Well, what else? You've got the extract.
I got
as well.
the
Let me
extract.
smell the extract that you have that's smoky.
This is also the India beans.
Okay. You really like smoking the.
The Indian, yeah,
The Indian.
there's just something about these beans that,
Oh, that is
look at
so
the richness
rich.
in that. You can't,
Right.
and that has been, I did that one 317.
Oh, just barely.
Yeah.
So this is only a.
That's-
Oh my.
Yeah, look how dark it is.
And not heated, not. This is
I
not
never
sous
eat my
vide.
vanilla.
This is not a.
I
Let me
don't
hold
know.
this up. So this is like
Yeah.
a 3-month-old
So
extract.
these are your smoked beans.
Look at
And
that. It's
what
like
did you put
3
in?
months old.
I think that one's in the 420 extract.
And this is the Malabar Indian.
I think this one is in, yeah, it's in,
Rum.
it's the 420 extract of Colorado,
The
Okay.
Colorado one.
190.
Yeah.
In this, in
Wow.
water. This, you know.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my.
Yeah. You
You
know,
almost want to
even
drink
with the,
it so like rich, don't
Oh,
you? I
do
mean,
ya?
holy cow.
well, yeah, but I have,
Well, we're gonna drive
I
tonight, and
also, the Papua New Guinea mint. This
Uh-huh.
is another good one too.
what is this one?
This one's the Papua New Guinea. It's a little sweeter than the Malabar.
Okay. Made the same way that you
Made
also
the same
smoked?
way. You might not be able to smell because the opening's small. I find when the opening's small, you can't smell it as good.
No, when you swirl it around though, they come right out. Sorry, I know
But
you
it's a
want to
little,
try.
it's a little
Um,
sweeter. I think it's a little sweeter.
Very
than
much
these.
so.
It
Yeah.
is. You can
Yeah.
totally tell.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Where these are
I
more
can-
of your savory.
So I would
Savory.
use these in like a barbecue sauce, like you mentioned, or a
Coffee
protein or
cake,
coffee
pound
cakes.
cake.
But
Like
these,
chocolate.
these I would
Chocolate.
use.
Chocolates.
But this
Chocolate.
one's going to be a much sweeter application.
Yeah.
This might be, you know, the
More,
dark
more
chocolate
of your,
fudge.
where you want something else to pop
Oh.
instead,
Gee,
but you
Yeah.
want to have a hint of where you want this one more dominant.
they
Yeah.
are just
Pretty
amazing.
good. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Well, let's see. Are there any questions? Everybody just loves you, Starlette. That's all we're seeing on this. Yes.
I love
that's a
everybody
little bit
too.
ago.
You're such an inspiration.
Where did you get
You
your
keep
smoke?
me young.
Where did you get you keep us young?
Keep me young.
Where did you get your smoker?
I bought it
Someone
online one night at 2:30 in the morning.
asked. 2:30 in the morning.
I said,
Of course.
I tried smoking beans and they burned. I said, there's got to be a better way. So, yeah, so it's a Cameron. I think it is. It was like $25
I
But
love
it
it.
says Cameron on
on
the
the
top.
front. Any of them will do. You don't need to go expensive. You know, if it don't work for you, put a piece of granite on it.
Yeah.
You know, I do notice that when we were talking about you never took your beans out and that you marked them that they were second
have a-
generation. How do you mark them?
I just have a little sticker that I put on the outside of the bottle that
So
says
you know
second
that
extraction,
says
so I
second.
know that
Okay.
they soak it again.
That's good to do. Just
Because, you know, I
FYI.
use a lot of vanilla, so, you know, when it goes down.
There's
I
just
just-
a
yeah,
little
I just-
sticker you put on so you know
Yeah.
this is the second time around.
And a lot of times I'll just pour off a bottle of the favorites and put it up in my extract
Yeah.
and then, you know, fill it back up.
Yep.
I think sometimes these organizational tips that you have with all of this is very helpful.
Well, you know I do a lot of vanilla.
yes,
Yeah.
you
You gotta
do.
really, everybody's like, well, journals. A journal's fine if you only have 24 bottles. It gets overwhelming and
Yeah.
you use a lot of paper.
Yeah.
So I write on the labels. That's the best. My tip is right on your labels.
Yeah, have
That way
labels
you
are big
have
enough.
everything right there. You don't have to fumble through and try to find information. Everything is on your label.
Right
Flip
there.
your label up. I have a labeling system that if I can flip them up, they don't have enough beans in it. If you flip it up, it'll tell you. Once it has enough beans in it, then I take my label on. So I have a system. I have to have a system because
Yeah,
a lot of
you have a
vanilla.
lot.
Yes, you do.
A lot of
So,
vanilla.
does an hour go by so fast?
It does go by
This
fast.
goes by so fast. So here's what I can promise you is with Starlette's permission, we are definitely going to do another show with Starlette. We're going to find a way, and because this is we're just getting started. We're just scratching the surface. In fact, I'm going to make good on my promise in about 5 minutes because we're going to go ahead and end the show here in just a second, and then stay tuned. We're going to have an encore presentation where we're going to do a quick tour of Starlette's Vanilla Room, and let's talk down there more about organization. We'll show them your labels, we'll show them the beans that you have hanging, we'll show them everything that you've done so you can get more beans right there. Oh, jeez. I mean, just as like a decoration.
This
There's
is
beans
my
everywhere.
bouquet. I'm going to send this to everybody that has a bad day. I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to send this to you.
Vanilla
This
bean
is
bouquet.
the sweetest smelling bouquet
Oh,
you
man.
can find.
And it doesn't die.
No. And then when I boil potatoes or I'm cooking in here,
Uh-huh.
this fragrance just pops. So
It
yeah,
just
that's
pops.
my bouquet.
Oh, I love
I
it.
even got bees on them.